Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the official launch of Pageant Sit Down. My name is Regina Lena, and I am so happy that you guys are here with me on YouTube. For those who don't know me, I am your reigning Ms. Galaxy Canada 2020-21, and I'm also the co-host on the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. I am really excited. It's been a long time coming, and I'm even more excited to have one of my really close friends, one of my mentors and my inspirations in the pageant world. And I know a lot of you are here waiting for her, so I'm not going to keep you waiting. I'm so excited to introduce to you my friend and your Ms. International 2013, Bea Santiago. Do what you want to do, girl. Well, I'm good. First off, thank you so much for being my very first guest here on Pageant Sit Down. I couldn't think of anyone better to have. Thank you. How are you doing? I know you asked me first, but I'm going to ask you since you're the guest. How are you doing during this pandemic? That's That's awesome. I saw pictures and it looked like very intimate, but still very her. Mhm. That's awesome. Oh, people are saying they can't hear you. Can you guys hear Bea? Leave a comment. They can't hear you. I can hear you. Okay, let me figure this out. Sorry, guys. I'm so used to having Scott do everything. Okay, can you hear her now? Do you hear Bea? Oh, Scott's calling me. Scott, I can't answer you.
Died.
Okay, can you guys hear Bea? Please leave a comment. Anyone? Bea? I can hear Bea. Okay, let me just message Scott. We're live, guys. The show must go on.
Yeah.
Can you hear Bea? Please. Oh, they can hear you. Yay!
Okay, yes. Oh my gosh, so I've been talking a lot and nobody's listening. That's weird.
I'm listening. Don't worry.
Thank you.
See, I'm learning. Everyone's like, we can hear you. Oh my goodness. Okay. You guys, don't freak me out like that.
That's fine.
Goodness.
It's fine. There's always new, first things.
Right? It's a learning curve. If you guys are seeing me on my end, I realize I had you all on Bea, but we're here and I'm glad that they can now all hear you. So Bea was mentioning that her sister recently got married and she said that she might consider a micro wedding. How's your boyfriend?
He's doing well. He's in the Philippines. He's actually very busy. He's just starting a very big project, which I'm very happy. It's actually a dream of mine that he stole. So yeah, he's been
Mark. Oh my goodness.
He's a farmer, which is like a dream for me, and it's always been a thing for me in the future. Well, let's see. Maybe in the future, I'll work with him, or I'll work for him, or I'll start my own thing.
There you go. How has it been though with you being here in Toronto and him back in the Philippines? You've been here for so long.
Oh my God, this is the longest I've been away. We've been away from each other, which is good because it's busy, but like not good for me because I'm a clingy person. Well, not like clingy, but I need like someone there, and because we've been together for 8 years, almost 8 years, and throughout that 8 years, we're always each other's support system. So physically, it's weird. I think the problem was physical first because we're attached to the hip. Like living in another country, I kind of depended on him to guide me in the Philippines because I don't know anything about Philippines when I moved in Manila. So he was kind of like my tour guide, my everything. And then when I left and came here, when I came back, it was like weird. Like I don't have that, like the somebody to like tell me, hey, it's okay. So, but it was good. I think we needed it because I'm getting old and I need myself to be alone, and he needs.
Oh my goodness.
It was nice, and it's been since 2018. We've been long distance, so.
Wait, 2018?
Yeah, like I moved back to Canada 2018 around September. So pandemic is just like this. So.
Yeah.
But it's been the longest since that I haven't seen him because I always go back to the Philippines every 4 months or he comes to visit me. So this time around, it's been 8 full months.
Oh my gosh. I hope you guys can see each other soon because I know you're here. And for those who don't know, Bea, you are a kidney failure advocate.
Yeah,
wow, I can't speak.
And a patient. So yeah.
How has it been during this pandemic? Because I know you are waiting for your surgery, right?
Yes, I am actually currently waiting if my brother matches because at first it was my mom that matched me 100%. But then again, there were some difficulties like later on, like we were about to get a schedule. But then again, the doctors kind of had like a second look on my mom's kidneys and they just found out some little bit of like a little bit of a problem, and they didn't continue because my mom is a little bit older. So she might need her reserve kidney later on.
She needs it,
because she's super healthy. She's probably going to live 100 or 200 years old. So she needs her reserve kidney. But everything's well, I learned a lot of patience and, just waiting. And that's what I've been doing. A lot of waiting.
Oh. Well, I hope that things clear up and that your brother is a match because that would just be a blessing. And then you can go back to Philippines to see your boyfriend and your dogs.
Yeah. I'm actually more excited on what's next for me because I see it more as like a second chapter of my life. It's more of like a new beginning. It's like a blessing because before I got sick, I actually prayed and I asked, what is my next chapter? And I said, what's my purpose? I guess I went ahead before everybody went through it. This is like back when I was like 28, 27.
Oh, wow.
So because
not too long ago.
I mean, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I started asking those deep questions that sometimes you get that when you were like 50s.
You had your midlife crisis and your
questioning everything, like what's the meaning of life, like what's the purpose of a person, what's the like why am I here in this earth, and then I was given this experience, a different kind of experience, and I guess I'm still looking what is my purpose, but I'm beginning to see what it is, and I think that is more to educate people about taking care of themselves, to spend more time with my family, and to help my sister with her wedding because I pretty much did everything.
You're the wedding planner, the person to walk her down the aisle.
I was like,
the dog holder.
I was her stylist. I did her hair. I did her nails. I pretty much did, and I think that was like the reason why I'm here still in Canada, because usually you get your kidney transplant like within a year, but then mine reached this long because of the pandemic, and plus with like the cancellation of my mom, and then now we're like checking if my brother, and I'm just seeing it as like like I'm given a chance to slow down how
Mhm.
to, to see the world in a different pace. And it's fun and it's amazing. And I'm actually slowly sharing it to my family, and they're calling me like, are you some sort of like a spiritual person now?
Well, you've definitely experienced a lot in the first 20 plus years of your life.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna expose your age, don't
Oh,
worry.
don't worry. I love growing old. It means that I am still alive, and I'm almost 31, and I love it because a lot of people say, "Oh my God, you don't look 31." I'm like,
You don't.
it's my Filipino blood. We don't crack.
Well, like I was saying, you've gone through so much,
Mhm.
and recently during this pandemic, you actually opened up on YouTube
Mhm.
about your journey and what you've gone through.
Mhm.
How was it being so vulnerable with the world? Because everyone basically in the Philippines watched
Oh
it.
my God, it was intense, and actually it's long overdue because I don't know how and who leaked it in the Philippines. They started talking about my health even before I found out I was sick.
What?
Like, I was waiting for my doctor to tell me like what's wrong with my kidneys, and people are already
Hmm.
talking. And they're
Oh my
asking me like
goodness.
what's wrong. I'm like, I don't know. I'm in the hospital and we're still waiting for my biopsy. Like, I don't know. I honestly didn't know until that day that
So your doctor leaked it.
yeah, well, no, not really. I think it's more of because like I was showing symptoms, like I was showing like I have bruises and like um I have a lot of water around my knees, and I was
Mhm.
showing my new type of like diet, and so everybody started speculating. And then I guess it was like totally new to a lot of people because I'm young, and at that time my
Yeah.
career was just about to start, and like
Hmm.
my acting career was just about to start. And so they have not met like probably a young vibrant person get sick, because
Hmm.
um I was known to be super, what do you call this, healthy. I eat, I work out a lot, I live a very healthy lifestyle. So
Hmm.
people got, it was like such a quick like, oh, what happened, like was it because of drugs, was it even like, no, I don't even do drugs.
Was it from? Okay, so I'm just gonna ask because this is what I heard. I heard that it was from you drinking a lot of
Oh my
Gatorade.
God, no, because I thought it was like that for it wasn't Gatorade. I don't even drink Gatorade because it's too sweet for me. And
Yeah.
I have such a very sensitive tonsils that it gives me
Hmm.
tonsillitis. Like orange juice or even Coke gives
Oh
me
wow.
tonsillitis. So I'm just like, I don't I hate sugar. So I don't drink those, but I did try creatine, like the pre-workout,
Hmm.
but only for 1 week. But I share it with my boyfriend, and we only use like half a scoop, and we mix it,
Oh
dilute it in a big water jug. So it wasn't
yeah.
because I told my boyfriend like, I have more sensitive kidneys than you, so we have to,
Hmm.
like whatever you do 100%, I gotta do it 50%.
50. Yeah.
You know what I mean, or even less. So that's what I've been doing. Like I
Hmm.
would just drink like a chug because I have a lot of energy when I work out. Like
You have a lot of energy
I
regardless.
love working out. I love showing. I love pumping. I love showing off to people like that I lift more than them.
You're
I'm
like,
such
look
a
at
show
me.
off.
Yeah.
Like I'm such a show off. Like I like to show off that I'm the only beauty queen who can lift 3 times heavier than her body weight. Because I was the only
Really?
one who did that. Yeah.
Wow.
And until now, I have not seen anybody who can lift heavier than me. Maybe now because of the pandemic they did. But I was a
I'll work on it and then I'll get back to
I
you.
was excited, I was like into that. And then, so I thought it was like, oh, maybe it's because my new lifestyle, like, because I've added more like I became more heavy
Maybe.
in weights. But the doctor's like, no,
Mhm.
no, 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 because if it was the creatine, then we took that out for a month, it would have changed your
Mhm.
kidney status drastically. But it's because I have an autoimmune disease called IgA nephropathy.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like directly it attacks your kidneys. So your white blood cells, instead of going through the kidneys, because like normal people, just the white blood cells just go through it. It passes and then you just go through the kidneys, but mine gets stuck there. And then over
Oh.
time, it just stayed and stayed and stayed and stayed until, my kidneys started slowing down. And that's what happened.
Wow.
So, and eventually, I was diagnosed when I was 17. I got sick when I was 16. And then
Oh, wow.
1 year, because they thought I was Hispanic. They thought I was Hispanic. They didn't see me as Asian because it is
Oh, wow.
it is apparently very big in Asian people. Like there's a lot of Asians that get sick with IgA. Maybe, I don't know what it is, it's from genetic deformity, I don't know. But I got it and none of my family have it. So I'm a very special. I'm
A special case.
one. I always get the special case, so I don't know.
Oh, wow. So you were diagnosed at 7. I didn't even know that. Like I've known you
I know,
since you were
but
20
nobody,
and I had no
because
idea.
nobody really I told people like around me, but not like, oh, I'm sick. Like I don't say them like, oh, I have sensitive kidneys. I just say that like, oh, I don't really like sweets. Oh, I don't do that. Oh, I don't do that. So they see me as like, oh, she's just so like picky. It's like, no.
I didn't even know it.
Yeah, it's because like, it wasn't because I guess my family doctor didn't inform me a lot. But my mom and I and my dad and my grandpa, who's a doctor, my mom's a pharmacist, they did a research about it. My mom's actually the one who diagnosed me.
Oh.
And then she told the doctor about her diagnosis. And then they looked into it and they're like, oh my God, Mrs. Santiago, you were right.
Yeah.
And it took you 1 year and I did it in 1 month.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
So
my mom.
how was it? Because you were modeling as well at this time too then,
Yeah,
right?
I actually enjoyed it because I lost the weight.
Oh
And
geez, Bea.
I changed my diet. So I was like, this helped a lot. So I became healthier at age 17. I stopped eating all the adobos and so I started, I started more on soup-based food, like Filipino food, more on soup. I didn't like, a lot of sauces. I don't like a lot of salt and a lot of sugar, like halo-halo or like, like those desserts. Not even for me. I don't
Really?
taste anymore because it just makes me feel sick because of my tonsil.
That's fair.
So
if it makes you uncomfortable, don't eat it.
And I lost a lot of weight because of that, because I just stopped eating all those food. I just stopped eating all those nasty food that's not really healthy. So
yeah,
it was good for me modeling, I guess.
Do you miss it because you've modeled, you were a beauty queen for so long, you MC events, and now you're stuck inside a house?
I actually miss the busy life because I used to get up at 5 a.m., get home at 5 a.m. Like,
wow,
at least 4 times a week. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And like in the weekends, I would fly to different like cities in the Philippines. And sometimes I would go from work to work. Like I would have a layover at like say in this city, and then I have to fly another city. And I would ask my boyfriend, can you bring me another luggage, another gown, another set of underwear? Yeah, I would meet like an airport to airport, and like I would exchange and I'd run. And then I even had a point where I had to go from point C to point D to point E to point C again, because I was doing, I was in a show, and then I have to be there the next day, but I have to host a big event in like say at the very, very north of the Philippines.
Oh my
gosh. Has
gosh.
no airplane. I have to go through drive.
Oh my goodness.
And it took me 7 hours. So I have to go from like, I don't know if you know the places in the Philippines, but it's more of like, I have to go from say Vancouver to like Toronto to Manitoba to.
Oh my gosh.
It was like that, but I loved it. It was like, wow, this is the life of like, like
you made it.
I felt like my career was driving off, and I fed off of that. Like, I love working, I love going to places, I love meeting new people, and I love going to eat different kinds of delicacies in the Philippines. I'm very interested in culture. And I love how the Philippines, such a small country, but it has so many different diverse culture within a country. So I loved exploring that, for somebody who loves traveling. My work was it paid everything that I needed. And but I guess it was too much because it was my old body.
Yeah.
Couldn't take it anymore. So I guess like the universe and God was just telling me to slow down. So I don't see my situation right now as something that's like horrible, because it kind of it gave me like a 2-year vacation. And who doesn't want to not do anything and be taken care of by her family? Like, I felt such a princess. It was amazing.
Do you miss your dogs though? Because I know you many back home. I'm sure they all miss you.
I think what I missed the most was I actually lost my favorite dog. I don't know. I know I'm so bad. I have a favorite dog. I have 5 dogs, but I have my Frenchie was the most rambunctious, crazy, energetic, but he was the closest to me because I get to train him, because he was the most difficult dog amongst the 5. So,
oops.
But we get to train him. Like, I get to experience crying at 3 a.m. coming home because poop were everywhere in the house. It was stuck in his cage, it was stuck in his foot. And I have to really to clean his foot, like to cry at 3 a.m. I'm so tired from taping, and I come home to see my dog in a cage with dried poop.
Oh man!
And his fault.
And he's your favorite?
He's my favorite because he gave me such a hard time, and we had we have a lot of memories, and he has such a smooshy face, and my Frenchie. But I guess like what they say, dogs give you such like love. He changed my life. He gave me such happiness in small things, and I think his purpose, because he changed me and the way I see animals. So I guess his life was so short because he fulfilled his purpose.
And you weren't there too, right?
Pardon me?
You weren't there when it happened. You were here in Toronto?
Yeah, it happened so fast. It was last year 2019. Oh my God, I felt like
wow.
it disappeared. But it was in 2019, November. And I was just there summertime. So I was just a few months. And then I wasn't supposed to go home until like 2020, But when he passed, within like 4 days of getting sick, my boyfriend, such a needy person, he couldn't take it because he was also his favorite. So he was like, our house was so quiet after. It was he is definitely missed by everyone in the house and even my family because he is such a character. So when he passed, my boyfriend was like, you need to go through this with me because I can't take it alone. So I flew in. We froze my dog. He was frozen for a week. I don't know why I'm crying. I'm laughing, but it was like whenever I share it to people, they look at me like, you froze your dog. I'm like, yeah, I froze my dog. We held a really, really good ceremony for him. We had like it's like a not really a priest, but someone blessed him.
An animal blesser.
We had our dogs with us, our nanny and my aunt who loved him so much, and my cousins. We held like a memorial. We read something. We had a prayer for him. Yeah, and we had songs for him, and it was such a beautiful moment. And I'm just like, Lord, accept my beautiful angel.
And he did.
Yeah, and I dreamt of him, and it was such a.
He visited you.
He visited me. He told me that I'm okay, mom. I saw him in the field. He was like he wasn't tired as when you know how Frenchies are. They can only last for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Energies last for 30 minutes, and then he's down. But like he was jumping and just running in the field for like I don't know, it was like an eternity. It was like an hours of running, and he looked at me and he was so happy, and he wasn't like because usually they do that when
yeah.
So I'm just like, oh my god, this must be heaven. So I saw him in that state and I was so happy. But until now, my boyfriend and I, you know, and the rest of the people in the house still miss him because nobody is loud, nobody is like, you know, like overacting, dramatic, because he's all of the above. And he's
like his mom? No, I'm kidding.
I know. He got me and my boyfriend, everybody else, what do you call this, personality in one dog.
Well, that's good. Scott is actually in the chats. He says dogs are family members.
Yeah, so. It's definitely my children, and he was my favorite child. My favorite child.
Oh my gosh, are you looking at getting any more in the future?
Well, that's the thing with me. I lost my first dog, Megan, and I adopted 3. So imagine what's gonna happen
when you go back.
When I go back. Actually, my boyfriend's already asking me, like, can we please get another dog? And I'm like, we're not gonna get another dog until we're fully, like, you know, moved on.
Until you're there too.
Yeah, and who's gonna train? I was like, you're in the farm every day. What are you gonna do with a new puppy or like a dog that needs, you know, rehabilitation? Because I promised myself and everybody, and you know, my dogs that I lost, that I'm only gonna adopt, or you know, or somebody who needs rehoming. I'm only gonna accept. Yeah. I'm not gonna buy or you know, I don't accept. There's too many dogs out there that needs help, and that's going to be my next journey too. Like I will be doing a lot of campaigning for, you know, adoption in the Philippines. Because there's so much dogs that needs love, and you know, for someone like me, even though I lost, you know, my best friend, you know, like my soulmate, that will not stop me from you know, sharing my home and sharing, you know, like a good life with my dogs.
Oh, I've never had a dog, so I don't know the feeling, but
it's gonna change you, girl. Like you will never feel love how much you can love until you have a dog. Like you'll be like, oh my god, this is what love is like.
So this is what Bea was talking about.
Yeah, this is like a love, unconditional love that you don't even need. You know, you don't need like assurance that you're being loved back, because you know they love you so much that they're willing to give their life for you. Like that's how much dogs love you.
But what if you're like you, not you, but like what if someone's scared of dogs like I am? Like, so at the studio, for the sit down with Scott Dion Brown, their family dog is this giant husky, and every time I'm there, it's like he just looks at me to be like, pet me, you know you want to, and I'm just like, get away from me.
You gotta start somewhere, because I have a friend who's asthmatic, like really bad asthma, and her family has never had a dog, so she grew up with no dogs, so she never had a good experience with dogs. You know, I think she was like, when she was younger, she was almost bitten by a dog too, so she had a very traumatic experience with dogs. But then later on, slowly, because everybody around her have such, you know, are dog lovers, so she started, you know, being a godmother of dogs. We would bring dogs around her. So she started liking the idea, but just don't close your mind. Start with small dogs, you know, pet them slowly, and then you will see. Or maybe you're a cat person, you know, you'll never.
No, not at all.
Because, you know, like what I love about dogs is because they're very affectionate, and I love that. I need affection, I need to be touched, I need to hug, I need love, I need to feel it. So there's people who just needs to see that they're being like that. They just come to you when they need you.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what you need.
Maybe. Scott's saying, I'm trying to turn Regina into a dog person. Scott, you're not the only one. There's so many people who are trying.
Yeah.
So enough about dogs.
Yeah,
The last time, I know, because the last time you were on the show, I know you could go on and on about dogs, but I know there's also people here who are interested in learning about your pageant journey.
Mhm.
You competed in Mutian ng Pilipinas, and then you did Bini Bini,
Mhm.
and then you went and did Miss International, and you won Miss
I
International
know, I know.
2013.
I wish I did. I did have. I wish I had like such a long, a beauty pageant life, but it was so short. But I always believe my mantra before, whenever I join pageants, is always give your 100% because you don't want to regret anything. But I don't mind repeating because I know it. But I guess every time I do it, I became a horse. I became so
A horse?
addicted. Yeah, I was so addicted with making it mine because there's no formula. I mean, there is a formula, but once you're on stage, it's hard to find. It's hard to train for that, like that, the confidence, like the I don't know how to say it, like the aura of a beauty queen. That's hard. That is the hard part to train. That is there. And it took me like 1 year to train to get that. It took me 1 year to get that. When you come out of the stage, you get everybody's attention. That is very, very rare. And how do you make it with 100 girls behind you? How do you get?
Yeah, because there was a lot of girls. Like when I did Mutia, I was like, wow, there's so many girls here. But then when I saw you do Bini Bini, I was like, that's a lot of people.
Mutia was a good what do I call this, opening for me when it comes to pageants, because I had no experience. I just went in there like I was modeling. I was an international model, so I went in there thinking, oh,
you got this.
I am a model. I aced, I booked Japan, I booked New York. This is nothing for me. But
you're a supermodel. You're not a model, Bea. You are a supermodel.
Some pageantry, it was like, shit, there's a different pose. I don't have to do this. I have to like open up. It's not about like, like the personality, like I'm better than you. It's more of like, look at me. I am what you need.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Such a very like different like life, and it was like
two different worlds. Yeah.
Because I was on a different side of feminism. I was more on like, why are you doing that to yourself kind of person.
Yeah.
So when they told me, oh, there's a prize for it, I'm like, money.
You're like, yes. Yeah.
And, I get how much did I win? Yeah, but like I paid my university for the whole year with my winnings, and so that was my drive. But when I won it and get to experience the whole thing, I loved it so much that I left everything here. I had a boyfriend then.
I know, you literally got up and left.
Yeah, my modeling career, I left it. I was in university, I left it. I was just like, let's try this thing while I'm young, because I can always come back and continue while I'm young. But when I trained for 1 year in the Philippines, it was like such a life-altering experience. There's a different walk, there's a different talk, there's a different how you just do your hair, how you even flip your hair is different, how you even like how you sit down, how you gaze at people, how you
blink,
how you smile at people, how you even flip your hair like this is different, how you even do your hands, even my reactions are different. it was such a beautiful experience, and I get to play like my very own Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you channel it every time you're on
because
stage.
it was so beautiful for me, and it was such, I felt like an ugly duckling becoming into a beautiful swan when I'm on stage.
Wow.
So I get addicted, and I have a book with me all the time whenever I'm just looking, because I'm a very, you know, I study a lot, and I guess my university education, I put it into work when it comes to the pageantry. I used my communications in, you know, major, so I used that into work, because I would
Well, there you go.
look at people, I would observe them, like the winners, why they won, how they won it, what they look like. I would observe them, and like I would base it every year. I would check year by year, so for 10 years, why it's them that won, what made them, you know, like the girl that won compared to 50 girls on stage. And then when I got it, that, and then I got the feeling, like, you know, like there's a different feeling with it. And then I kind of had formed a formula on my own. And, you know, with my training with KF, it really, really helped me, because, and that made me confident. My training made me so confident that even though I was not the prettiest girl in there, I was
Excuse me?
one of the most confident girl. I was beside blondes and blue eyes with like naturally big boobs with naturally 23 waist. How am I supposed to compete with natural 23-inch waist?
But you said it earlier. You mastered aura because
because I had to compete with perfection.
Okay, Bea, calm down. You are perfection. Like, I show people your pictures and they're like, oh, she's stunning. Like, all the pictures you gave me to use for our promo, I was like, Bea, I'm not kidding you when I tell you my mom is like your #1 fan. So anytime I do something, she's like, what would Bea do? Like, think about what Bea would do. I'm like, okay, Mom, I get it. I'm not Bea. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But you know what? Before that happened, I had to go through a lot of tears, of blood, of sweat, of yelling, of frustration, and a lot of help books, like self-help books, to feed my confidence. You know, because if you're alone in a country, you have no friends, you have nobody, you lost, you know, you cut your ties. Oh, not cut my ties, but I cut my confidence with, you know, like here in Canada, this is where my life was. My friends were here, you know.
This was your identity,
Yeah, like, so I don't even know where to go for clubbing, you know. I don't even know where to eat. So I really went through that, and because I couldn't go to work in the Philippines, you know, I have such a small, like, my mom would just send me money a little bit, and I have my savings with me. So I really have to be super, super, like, you know, like very, very, like, I was so thrifty, and I have to be wise to live and survive in the Philippines, because, you know, it will eat you alive, because there's a lot of opportunity, and there's a lot of opportunistic people there too. You know, you're a new, fresh, beautiful, young person in a country that's full of vibrant people. You know, it was a country for newcomers. So when I go there, when I go to club, people look at you. Who is this fresh meat?
Like, who is she? Where did she come from?
So you get kind of like overwhelmed with the attention. So you have to be super duper strict and like super strong, because there's a lot of there's a lot.
It's okay.
There's a lot of there's just a lot of like monsters that will eat you alive in a country that you don't know. So I was just happy that I was very close to the KF family, that they, you know, they adopted me as their own, and they taught me everything, and I met the right people, I met the right friends. I met friends who were the same with me, who come from different countries, who were the same age as me, same interests and same everything, and I became best friends with them easily. But I had to compete with my best friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you win with your best friends behind your back? But we didn't feel competition. We just went in rooting for each other. We have different beauty. We have different, personalities. We loved each other so much that we fixed each other's hair backstage.
Aww.
Yeah, that's how lucky I was. I was so.
So in your batch, who are you closest to?
I have a group of beautiful, strong women that I'm closest to. So I'm closest to, until now, I'm best friends with them. During my time, I was closest to, I think, all of the girls that I trained under KF. We became sisters, but my best friends that are until now, I'm still like really strong. Parul Shah, she was Miss Grand, I think second runner-up. And Hannah Sison, Binibining Pilipinas, second runner-up. I was closest to Sandra Flores. I think she represented UK in, I forgot the pageant, Bermutia won. And there's just so many girls that I really, really loved, but those are the girls that I feel strongly attached to, like.
Because that was a strong group of girls, and I remember your batch, like the winners, you all placed so high. You especially.
I think my winning is also their winning. It was more of like that mentality. So we just pushed each other to the point where we had to win, because there's no other way but to win, because we are such like strong women that we're like,
you're the golden girls.
We don't see it as like nagging or like I'm better than you. It's more of like, I'm helping you. You do this. And whenever we lift each other up, whenever I'm down or anybody's down, we go, hey, let's go to the club. Let's feed our ego. Let's go to the club. And so we go to the club.
There you go.
We don't even like go home to any of the men. We just go there.
Yeah.
Make them look at us, feed our ego, and then leave.
And then go home. Yeah. Girls' night.
It was so beautiful. Like, imagine this 20-something beautiful girls, fresh from another country, visit the club, say hi to like guys, get free drinks everywhere,
and then go home.
There was something powerful in that, like as a group of girls, and we just laugh and go home. We stay in my condo or anybody's condo, and we eat breakfast and like in like carinderia. Imagine that. We go to where taxi drivers eat. We go to where
Why
taxi
not?
drivers eat, where they serve like minimum wage food.
It's okay. Do what you gotta do.
At 5 a.m.
What else is open? McDonald's?
It's like closest to my place, and it taught us a lot. I actually go to the next day. I would take like the tricycle, and I would just be in my dressed down, and then by the time I get dropped off in front of the building where we're all there, I change. I love that process where it's like acting, where you're in the real world and you step into the studio and you have to transform. And I love that process. It makes me feel so confident and powerful. And then I make sure that when I enter the room, I practice my confidence and my aura. Okay, for the girls.
Oh, I know.
Competing. This is what I do whenever I do. Because in Binibini, it takes 1 month to finish
for the competition.
Yeah, for the competition. But for the national pageant, we kind of Mrs. Arnetta make us stay for like probably 2 weeks in one location, and then feed us lunch, and then we go to our activities. So I always make sure I have a little bit of audience. So when they so when the call time is like 10 a.m., I go there like exactly 10 a.m. because I want to practice my aura of eating another girl's aura. You know what I
You're
mean?
so funny.
So every day I make them, it's bad to say, but I make them see how strong and fierce I am. And then I feed off that energy of them. Like, you know, like when you see someone who's like, and then I come in with my big glasses, my high heels, and my super, like, I'm just like, my hair is just always like in a bun. I don't even have makeup on, but I have my glasses on and like my lip gloss, and I walk in my bag, my little makeup bag, and, you know, my book, and I could feel them, like, you know, like
you can feel the glare.
I can feel them side-eyeing me, and for me, it's like how Kanye you know, like, you know how Kanye loves the negativity.
Yeah.
For me, that was like, I love the attention I got from the side eyes.
Oh my goodness.
I make them scared.
So you're telling me when I go compete, I have to like scare people?
You have to eat them alive slowly, girl, so that when the time comes on stage, they know that you are stronger than them, stage presence wise. That's how I practice my stage presence. Whenever I see the girls kind of shaking when I come, that's when I say, yes, I'm in top 5.
I'm the winner, girls.
This is it. Because on the stage, you know, like, the judges don't even judge you on your daily activities, unless you have such a bad personality that your chaperone will tell the judges she's a bad girl. Because when I judge Miss International, we have that. I had no idea that we do evaluation for the daily activities of your personality, not if you were the most popular, not if you were the most polished, beautiful, have the most stylish clothes. No, it's more of, were you punctual? Were you on time? Were you nice? Are you nice to everyone?
Are you nice?
You were so nice. I love everybody. I love getting to know people. I love talking about culture. I love sharing identities of different countries, and it was beautiful. So I think for the girls trying to learn from me is that do what I say, have a book, read a lot, listen to interviews. Because I did. I listened to a lot of interviews. I love listening to political people because you get to see how they BS their way in the interview. Because it's very important to know how to navigate yourself, especially when you're on stage and you don't hear yourself talking. And I don't know how, but whenever I'm like, sometimes when I'm like scared of an interviewer, and I lose a little bit of myself because of I'm scared of my overwhelmed. In the middle of me talking, I kind of talk to myself too in my head, and something clicks, and I have to navigate myself way back to my direct point. And you need to hear it from political people. Politicians are very good. Oh my God,
It's okay.
How to turn off this thing? How do I turn off this thing?
Who's messaging you? Mark, leave her alone. Mark, we're busy.
Mark, stop. Okay. Stop.
Good morning.
Love me. I'm sorry. But oh my God. How do I don't know how to do this.
It's okay. Don't worry, Bea.
So,
but
yeah.
One of the comments in the comment section is actually from Elizabeth Marnock. She wrote, "Eat them alive slowly. How to win a pageant 101."
No, honestly, that's what I did. I fed off the girls' side eyes daily. Imagine daily for like 1 month or 2 months. I see them.
You were there for a while.
I see them doing this or like even if they have a book, you can see
Mhm.
them. Or even when they're not looking, you can feel it when the girl is trying to
You know when you're being
feel you.
watched. Yeah.
When a girl is trying to feel you, I
Mhm.
believe like everybody have a, you know, like walking energy. You have your energy. You have your own
Mhm.
energy. I have my own energy. So for me, I just imagine myself as this red flaming energy. So when I walk in, they can feel my
They
presence.
know, yeah. They feel the heat.
They feel my presence, because how do you maximize that presence in a stage with a million of people watching you live? Because that's what
Mhm.
Araneta Coliseum was when I did the national pageant.
Mhm. Yeah, there was a lot
Oh
of
my,
people. I
you
remember
can't even
watching
hear
it.
yourself. I couldn't even hear my own heartbeat, because there's
Oh my
just
goodness.
there's 1 million people waiting for
There's a
you.
lot. And it's so loud. Like we watch it on TV because obviously we're not in the Philippines, but I would just love to get a glimpse of what it's like in
Oh
that
my God.
auditorium.
You definitely need to watch. Like next time when you're in the Philippines,
Mhm.
let me know.
When the
I
world
can
open
still
up.
I can still get free tickets. Once you're
Oh
a
my god.
queen in Binibini, you can always get tickets.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But speaking of Beanie Beanie, so there's a change in the different titles with Beanie
Mhm.
Beanie. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I was a little bit saddened when we lost Miss Universe.
Mhm.
You know, just because of I feel for Mrs. Araneta. I mean, that was
Mhm.
Mrs. Araneta's baby. But I
Yeah.
guess, you know, like there's always a reason for everything. I believe in that. And so
Mhm.
I'm happy for the Miss International as their main crown. I mean, I myself, you know, I'm
You are a Miss
I
International.
know. And so I'm happy for them that they have, you know, Miss International as the main crown, but I'm a little bit saddened that we lost, you know, the Miss Universe. But I guess it's the progression of time that we
Mhm.
need every crown to be focused on their own, you know, identities.
Mhm.
And then it's time for Miss International to finally have the like the number one
Yes.
spotlight, because
Mhm.
that time, during my time, we get to share everything. You know, whenever we have what I call this, whenever we have auditions, all the girls have to go there, or we have what I call this, ads. But I
Mhm.
get to do it with my sisters. I loved it. But
Mhm.
now it's just that, you know, there's a main spot for us. You know, a main spot for Miss International, a main spot for Miss
Mhm.
Universe, a main spot for Miss World, which is
Mhm.
amazing. And then now even the smaller pageants have arrived in the
Yep.
scene. So I
Mhm.
think it's good that there's an opportunity for them to rise up and to show and to, you know, and to kind of prove themselves to the world or to the Filipino
Mhm.
people, because Filipinos are very supportive,
Yes.
but they're hard to please. Very hard to please. Very hard to please. And that
Mhm.
also was a good training for me, you know,
Mhm.
pleasing the Filipino people that you're representing. It was hard for me because I came in as a Canadian girl.
Yeah, because you represented and won overseas the first
Yeah,
pageant, and
and
then
they don't know me. I have no support system. I
mhm.
have no fan base. Who is this?
Now you do.
But now, 'cause I had to prove myself. I have to
Mhm.
really speak the language. I have to act how the people live day to day.
Mhm.
That's why I have to go through the tricycle, the Jeep. I have to do that because I need
Yeah.
to know what it's like to be a day-to-day Filipino person, because I'm
Mhm.
representing them. I'm not
Mhm.
representing, you know, the elite or like this English speaking Filipinos. I'm
Yeah.
representing the Filipino people who speak
Mhm.
and live as Filipinos. So
Mhm.
I had to train as one,
Mhm.
and I had to erase my Canadian identity. Not erase, but I have to put it aside for,
Hide it a little bit.
because
Yeah.
I had to, you know, it was like acting. I have to change a little bit and add more in my bowl.
Mhm.
So
But you did great.
oh,
You
thank you.
won.
There's just a lot of training, and for girls out there still trying to be, trying to compete, there's a lot of training you have to do. And always have to do 100%. Always think of it as like, don't think of it as like, oh, there's a chance to do it again. Yes, there's always a second time, a third time, a fourth time. But if you can do it one time, why not give 100% of your time, effort?
Just like you did.
Passion.
So for those that don't know, when Bea first competed at Mutian ng Pilipinas, she won the overseas title, and then she did Bini Bini and she won a title, and then she did Miss International and won. So Bea, you are a one-hit wonder when it comes to pageants.
Thank you. But it is possible that it happens. It's also possible you could try 3 times because, Pia had done that. MJ had done that. But if you can do it by giving yourself 100%, and you have to do it 3 times to get into that, why not? But Pia won it, MJ won it, and the rest of the girls who's tried many times won it because they wanted it so bad that they have to make it 100% of their passion. They made it into the point that they have to breathe in and breathe out pageantry.
Yes. For sure. And they still do now. And that's what I wanted to ask you. So now that, you're not doing pageants right now, would you ever go back if there was an opportunity?
I thought of that actually when I was competing and they asked me, it's okay if you don't win. Like there was people doubting me. There were people doubting me.
What?
So they said, okay if you don't win enough or like doctor.
Oh, how rude.
No, but I didn't take it as a negative thing. Never, ever think of everything negatively. Always take it in a positive, more, in a positive way. So whenever someone would say that, whenever I have doubters, even some of my family members have doubted me, I don't see it as attack on who I am. It's more of I have to be the first one to talk to show it. I don't have to say it to them. I have to show it to them that I can do it. I can be the first in the family to be an international beauty queen winner.
That's true, and you are. So there you go.
and so now that they know, a lot of people have managed to say, if she did it, why not? Why can't I do it? Because I did it. So people can now say, yeah, she comes from she didn't have any background and she managed to do it. I can do it too, as long as I just work hard. I blood, sweat, and tears into it, then I'm going to fucking win. And so that's what happened. And I hope the girls watching will learn from that even if there's negativity around you, don't make it to the point that will hurt you personally, because maybe they just don't know what they're talking about. Maybe they have not seen someone do it. Maybe it's you who needs to prove them wrong. And then you don't, because now that I see it, like before I used to have some negative, no, what? I did it. What can you say? But then now that I'm a little bit older,
just a little bit,
and a little bit wiser, see it more of like they just didn't know what they're saying. They just didn't know, they didn't experience it themselves. Maybe. So you have to be understanding as well on their situation, but you should all use that to feed your ego as well, to feed your confidence. Like, I need to prove them wrong. I need this negativity to turn it into my advantage because they put such low bar. I'm going to show them that I can achieve 1,000 bar. And that's what I do.
And that's something that I really admired about you, Bea, because you did tell me, I remember, so for those who don't know, so when I first started in pageants, I actually met Bea, and she helped me get through Mutian ng Pilipinas because I had 2 weeks to prepare, and Bea literally fed me everything. And the number one thing that I gained from, or that I could remember and cherish till this day, is one thing Bea said to me is, don't read the negative comments on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, why? What do you mean? And then I saw it firsthand where the girls were reading the negative comments and they were taking it personally. And I was like, Bea said don't read the comments.
Yeah, like for me, I would read it. And then at first, because I was naive, you know, when I was in with, I was naive. It's like, crying. It's like, my little ego is hurt. My model ego is hurt. But then I saw it myself. Like, I think it's because I have not proven myself to them that I am a threat as well. And it's because I didn't train. And you can see the girls who trained and the girls who did not. Yeah. Because I saw myself and I was intimidated by the girls who knew what they were doing. And I think that's what pushed me to prove, like, hey, I can do that too. That looks interesting. I want to do that too. And
that looks easy.
I know. And then when I tried, I was like, this is not easy. How do you go the Miss Universe walk where you're like Halle Berry into James Bond? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know how to do that. But over time, you get to feel it. You get to experience it. You get to kind of play with it. And then you get to ace it. And then such a beautiful, beautiful experience that I see my growth from like 0 to 100 to like the finish line. And you become so proud of yourself, even if you don't win. It just changes you in the way you see, love, and feel for yourself. It just become a different person. I mean, tell me now, compared to when you were training for Mutia to like now, you're a different person, right?
Oh my gosh, 100%. Well, when I did Mutia, I was 21 and I was not brand new, but it was one of my first, I was a baby and it was one of my first pageants that was international, and I thought that I knew what I was doing. I was like, oh yeah, I got this, because you know, when you're in Toronto and in the Filipino pageant community, there's not a lot of us. So I thought I was the ish. I was like, I got this. I got to the Philippines and I was like, oh, I wasn't ready for it. But I did gain so much from it. And you taught me so much. You helped me get there. And then just from then until now, it's every pageant that I've done, I've met so many different people and I learned so much from all of it too.
I know. And I love meeting people. I love getting to talk to them and getting a little bit of their thoughts and putting it into you, and then seeing how beautiful they are, the way they eat, the way they sit, the way they laugh. It's just like fascinating for me, especially for Miss International, because then you get to meet girls from different countries, you know, and then you get to be like, oh, they're so nice and sweet and innocent. And you're like, oh, they're gonna get eaten alive. They go to the Philippines, but I'm so happy for them. But
you're so funny.
It's such a I always say, like, training makes perfect. You know, because whenever you're training exaggeratedly, whenever I train exaggerate, when you're on the pageant stage, when you're on the stage, you forget about your training. It just becomes a reflex.
Yeah.
You know, so I forget that I have to sway more, like my hips, because I don't have like big hips, you know? And so I have to sway my hips more. But when you're walking, you don't remember that. I'm swaying my hips more. No, you don't remember that, because you just concentrate on being the flaming red energy, and you walk and you forget. You forget that you did, oh my God, what happened? Because that's what happened to me. Like, did I just say that? Did I just like flip my hair? Did I just fell? You don't remember it. You know, it just comes so fast. But
oh my gosh, it just flies by.
Yeah, but because of training, your body remembers how to fully, like, I almost fell, but my joints was so strong. It was like, oh no, you're not.
Like, don't fall yet.
What do you mean?
It's not happening.
Yeah, I remember for Binibining Filipinas, for our press presentation where we were wearing swimsuits. when you wear a swimsuit, some girls are very like, oh my God, no, like, no, because of my training with KF, the daily for 1 year, I wear swimsuit with 20 other girls beside me. That was my training. I wear swimsuit in my high heels in front of mirror, like mirror, and with 20 other girls, and you have to walk with them. That at first it was nerve-wracking. It's like, oh my God, she has better hips than me. She has tighter legs. Oh my God, her boobs are perkier. She has more than me. Oh my God, she has natural sway. And I don't like, you compare yourself to others. But then later on, because of training, you focus on yourself. You become, I don't have hips, but I can sway long. I have longer legs, so I can sway more. I don't have wide hips. I don't have wide boobs. I don't have a lot of like waist, so I have to increase my hips more. You know what I mean? So you get to see the tricks. You kind of like help yourself find the beauty within yourself by kind of adjusting just a little bit of like movement or like poses. So it was like fascinating for me to see myself become such a beautiful swan and be appreciated by people on stage. Oh, who is this? Because
where'd you come from?
Because that's what happened to me. I mean, imagine 50 girls competing. They all have their own management. They have their own camps. They have their own people.
Fan base. Yeah.
Yeah. They have family members who pay for PR, good makeup artists to train them, stylists to give them free clothes. I didn't have all of that. So I had to do it from scratch, and I had to really work hard for it by not by looking at them, making myself feel bad, like, oh, they have more than me. Like, I don't see that. I see it as more like, oh, I have to push myself. I have to find cheap clothes that will make me look rich. That will make, because my there was only 3 things that I needed. I don't know how to say it in English, but it was, I have to look clean, I have to look beautiful, I have to look rich.
I mean, you pulled it off very well.
But I had to, I wore like secondhand or, from not so expensive or not designer clothes.
Like Urban Planet kind of clothes, like Forever 21.
Yeah, like Forever 21, but I really have to pick on like no labels. Forever 21 have a label.
That's true.
I had to go through
like Divisoria.
Yeah, like I found skirts that are like 10 pesos, which is like 5 cents.
Wow.
You gotta do what you gotta do. But I use money on like heels, on makeup because I have sensitive skin, on proper hair tools because I have big
thick hair.
I don't want to damage that. I use that, or like glue for your eyelash. You gotta choose where you use your money, because pageantry is freaking expensive, really expensive. My nails, I learned to do my own nails.
That's awesome.
I learned to do my own makeup because I don't want to pay someone more money than my TF.
Yeah. Why would you if you could do it yourself?
Yeah, and you don't want to. I didn't want to pay for a stylist, So, I have to look through, numerous people like Kim Kardashian or the supermodels. How do they dress up? How do you look?
How do they style themselves?
Yeah, or like, how does Naomi Campbell shine? How does Naomi Campbell carry herself so well in the middle of like Nelson Mandela? Like, how do you carry yourself around this strong, people? And it was that kind of training helped me go through. When I won, I have to talk to the president, the vice president, all those people who try to pick your brain, like, are you beauty and brains? Why did you win? How did you win? Are you just all face? So you all, even after winning, you have to again, you have to prove yourself to these people. So your training again is gonna come in handy.
Yeah.
Because pageantry is not just about beauty, and not anymore. Like before, the Q&A was just 15%.
Now it's like
Now
20,
it's
25%. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everything is like beauty in body and beauty in face is the same equivalent as beauty in brains. How beautiful is your brain? How
Exactly.
beautiful is your personality? But then I think Miss Universe even have how beautiful is your story? Do you have a story? What is your story that I can sell to the media? It's about that, who are you? What are you doing?
Well, they got a lot out of you.
I'm actually happy that I did it before social media, because now everybody's like, how many followers do you have? Oh, I have 5 million. Oh, I have like 600. And before my time, it's like, no, as long as I show up in Facebook, I'm so happy. Now it's like, it's a must. Now they have their own team. They have to pay PR, they have to have their stylist, they have to have their makeup artist. They have a team. I didn't have that. We didn't have that in my time.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because you were even saying before we went live, when you were looking at it, there were so many videos with Bea Santiago, Bea Santiago, and you're like, where did these come from?
I know, it just showed up. I'm like, oh my God, I have all this like views. I'm just like, yay, views. I was happy.
But it's true, because when you competed, it was just Facebook and a little bit of Instagram, and now it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Oh my God,
everything.
Active in everything, and like my time, I'm just so happy that I get to focus on myself, how to win, how to be smart, or how to appear smart at least.
Oh, stop.
How to know relevant news, how to answer relevant news, how to talk to important people, how to talk to the press. That was our main priority. Now it's more of, how do you represent yourself to the social media? How do you
brand yourself?
Yeah, like it's all about branding, and it's all about what's your brand, who your brand is, who your friends are, like, are
you verified?
Media. Yeah, it's so vain, and you can manipulate who you are on social media. You can manipulate who you are in 2 years and then join the pageant. During my time, it's more of, this is me, I will train for you to like me, and then let's see if I win. Now,
go ahead.
Yeah, like now girls have to think about numerous things aside from being smart. You also have to have a story. You have to have a brand. You have to have really good filters. You have to have really good.
Oh boy.
Yeah, foundation. You have to have really good makeup skills. You have to have really good, like all these things that you have to think, and it's just evolved into such bigger and heavier and more strategies for girls to adopt and to develop themselves. And my God, I'm scared for them, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's crazy because it's not just pageants. I find that just in general, for the next generation, it's just so much more pressure, like you were saying.
God, I'm scared for my children.
Your dogs. No, but it's true. It's very scary. And hopefully with people like you and other beauty queens, that they'll see more role models and see that beauty is more than just what you see on Instagram.
Thank you. I hope, because it's hard to meet people now. It's hard to know who they are unless
who's
you
real.
Get to know them. Because social media, you can fake that. Like, honestly, I myself, sometimes I get to question, like, who are you? Which Bea are you today?
Which Bea will you portray?
I know, right? It's like, today I'm gonna be like the bad Bea, or like that. Like, but then you still go back to who you are, you know.
Mhm.
And then now, but I guess now I love how the new generation is celebrating uniqueness, you know.
Mhm.
And it's not all about who has tight ass. It's not about
Yeah.
who has a
It's
tight
not about the
ass,
looks. Yeah.
you know. But still, but then 50% is still needed to have a tight ass. 50%, you still have a little bit of abs. Even if you have
Mhm.
abs, you still have to have a little bit of tightness, which is
Mhm.
so hard because you have to have like everything in one.
Yeah.
And that's
But what I like are
it.
those people on social media that show you the hacks on how influencers do things. Like they show you how to pose so that your cellulite isn't showing, or
Mhm.
they show you which angles to make your butt look bigger. It's
Honestly,
crazy.
I'm a little bit bad when it comes to that. Like, I love filter. I love camera 360. I'm telling you now, it's every influencer's app.
Bea exposed. New headlines are coming soon. Former BD exposed.
I know. I mean, camera 360, and even like, the videos. You can alter your videos now, girl.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
crazy.
crazy. You don't need
Crazy.
Photoshop anymore. It's all on your
You can
phone.
even pay the paparazzis. You can pay,
Well,
people.
I can't. You can.
I mean,
You're on a whole other status, Bea.
it's funny how things have evolved. I mean, it's only been what, like 7 years since
Mhm.
the last time I was in a competition. 7 years, and
Wow.
a lot of things have happened, and a lot of things changed. But good luck to the girls who's just starting, because
Mhm.
there's a lot of stuff that you gotta do.
So, for the girls that are new to pageantry or the ones that are following us today who are watching you, what are, let's say, 5 tips that you could give them before we end the show? What are 5 tips that you could give them on pageantry and how to succeed in it?
You have to be tough, really tough.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand that not everybody will love you, but that will be
Mm-hmm.
okay. Totally okay. You have to love yourself. Before you win, you have to love yourself. Your flaws, anything negative around your body, you still have to love them. And the fourth would be informed. You have to be very smart. I believe that being smart isn't genetics. You can learn to be smart by reading, by being informed, listen to a lot of news, listen to a lot of important people who shares their brains to us, listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the fifth would be ready. Always be ready, be organized, because that helped me a
Mm-hmm.
lot. I was so organized that I even have options for my breakfast.
For your breakfast?
I have a different type of clothing for my breakfast. That's how
Oh.
organized I was. So those were
So wait, how many outfits did you have organized or prepared?
okay, so this is what I do. I don't know how girls nowadays, they have like 10 luggages and they compete. I only had 3.
Yeah.
I had 3 luggages, and that was a lot already.
Yeah, I remember doing Miss Universe Canada, and some girls had like 6 luggages, and I'm like, I have 2. Is this okay?
How? Where do you put it?
Right?
My 3 luggages is already a lot. I mean, my luggage one are all my dresses, my gowns, and everything. Like my gowns, my dresses, and then the second is my national costume and my accessories.
Mhm.
And then my third is just makeup, shoes, hair stuff, all your stuff that you need, your body makeup,
Your products, yeah.
and then that's it, because I need to be organized. The more you have, the more luggages you have, the more disorganized you have, because you have so much stuff, you don't know where it is. And I was so hands-on with everything. I didn't let anybody else do it for me. That's how I kind of prepared my brain. You know, like that's how I kind of like inserted myself into reality that this is gonna happen by me focusing on, this dress is good for dinner one. Ooh, this is good for morning for this kind of activity. If ever this would be good for a press presentation. Ooh, this would be good to meeting, you know, Mr.
The president.
Yeah, like, you know, you have to think of that because you have to be the master of your daily activity. You don't have anybody to guide you when you're in the pageant, even you're already competing, you know. So a night before the pageants, right when I get home, when I get to my room, my roommate and I'm just so happy that Casey, Miss New Zealand, have a different time zone than me, so she sleeps early. So we get early because, you know, I love my roommate. I'm not one of those, I'm not an asshole. So if I can tell that she's about to sleep. That's also me. Oh, I need to hurry up because I need to sleep. You know, I don't want her to be awake when because I move a lot. I don't want her to be like, Miss Philippines was such a bad roommate. I can't go away. We were asleep.
You let her sleep first.
We were asleep by 11. So, you know, I let her go to the toilet, do her thing, and then I go after. I have my bathtub ready with me, my hot tub. I put my salt and, you know, like the smell thingy, whatever you have with you, and then I listen to my music, and then that's when I release all the tension I went through that day. And then I talk to my boyfriend, and then I release, and then I pray while I meditate while I'm in the tub. You know what I mean?
Do what you have to do.
I'm gonna cry because I did. I had to cry. That's the thing too. That's also, I forgot. That would be my sixth, my sixth advice.
Tip.
You have to cry. A day or days before the competition.
Do you remember after Mutia, I saw you and I just started crying? Like it came out of nowhere.
Because you had to do that before.
Sorry, you didn't tell me.
I didn't know until like Miss International happened, and I had.
You just told me to write my name and all my stuff.
Yeah. Because that's what I thought I knew, and that's what I learned from Mutia. You know what I mean? But for Binibini, that's where I gained all the experience, and so I had to go through it all by myself, and so that's what I always say it to the girls next after me. Like I told Kylie, I told Janicel, Bianca, all the girls that competed in Miss International after me. You know, I think for 5 years, and then the last few girls, I didn't reach out to them because I'm usually the one who reaches. I don't know why these girls had no training of paying respects to their elder. Like, girl, you need my help, whether you like it or not. Reach out to me, but they don't. So I reach out to them. All the girls, I reach out to them. Like, but I'm just so happy the girls that are intently and was 100% listening to me, they all won. Regine, all won.
Because it was back to back for you, right?
No. The girls.
Was it not?
I think it took 3 years. Kylie won 3 years after me. 4 years, something like that. Kylie listened to me intently. She asked me questions. We exchanged information on a lot of questions during her pageantry. And then even Kevin, the I forgot her country, Malaysia, was it? Or Thailand? I forgot. Kevin, she would message me every day as well, and like I would give her, you know, like, oh, this is what you do. You don't have to be Miss Friendship. Just be happy and be real. Who you want to, who you feel like you're friendly with. Just focus on that. You have to focus on making friends. just make it real. Like if they come to you, be friendly. If you feel like you're friendly with this, it's okay. You don't have to be hi, because some girls are like that. You waste too much energy in pleasing everybody. You're not Miss Pleaser. You're there representing your country. You're Miss Philippines, or you're Miss Thailand, or you're Miss USA, or you're Miss Canada. You're not Miss G, not Miss Bea, to please Miss, Some girls wasted so much time of their energy by pleasing. But yeah, where was I forgot.
It's okay. You were giving us all of your tips on how to become successful in pageants.
But those are the things that I learned on my way, because I was very observant. You always have to have a notebook with you, even if you're in the bus, and always bring another set of accessories.
Yes.
And never jeopardize your health for looking good, especially when you're in pageantry. Bring vitamins always, because a lot of girls want to look like, I remember, I think it was Miss India during my time, and we went to the mountains, and she was wearing like thin stockings, like the thin tights, and
it's cold,
and it was wintertime in Japan, and we went to like a mountain that has like sulfur in the mid, like on top, so we had to go through the top of the mountain to get the 1,000 century egg, like those century egg. It was cooked in natural sulfur, hot spring.
Sounds yummy.
So yummy, and it was it's a historical place too for the Japanese. So, and she was shivering like, like and then she got, and for me, I was so comfortable because I brought 2 sets of jackets. I guess that's how my Canadian background came. I'm just so ready. I'm ready.
You're like, I'm used to the cold.
I know, but even if I was used to it, because of because I lost weight, I don't have enough fats to protect me from the cold. And I always bring food. If you think that when you're in a pageantry, you're already competing, you have to diet. No, girls, wrong. Even if 1 month before your competition, you gotta do the diet, you gotta do the workouts, you gotta do that, because having strong bodies, having strong legs when you're competing will help you if you fall. I'm telling you.
Because your joints will keep you from falling.
Yes. Your reflex, your strong bones, your strong joints from lifting all this weights will help you. If you feel like you're about to fall, it just moves like, oh, I can do it. I didn't fall.
Exactly.
But don't ever not eat while on competition, because that's what most girls have problems with. They think because they're already competing, they have to lose the weight. You will lose it naturally because you're in an intense activity. You have a lot of activities in one day. You lose a lot of energy because you're just overthinking. You're pleasing everybody. You're sitting a different way. That's a lot of energy.
It is.
You're thinking about everything. That's a lot of energy waste. So you gotta eat. I eat with 3 plates, Regine, every day. My breakfast. I love breakfast. I have my carbs, my plate in a carb, like my 1 carbs a plate, 1 carbs of veggies and fruits, and 1 plate of veggies. And then 1 plate of my protein. But I love my intake. I always just pick like clean food, clean meat, clean protein, clean carbs, and
Is there clean carbs?
Pardon me?
Is there clean carbs?
Rice. Rice is life. I have.
Well, if you're Filipino, yes.
I have my cup of rice, and then I have my, my buns, and I also I'll bring with you like some little bit of like Ziploc or whatever it is that you can put your food. I always bring 2 eggs with me, like, boiled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I carry with me 2 boiled eggs, and 2 buns of bread. Because you're always hungry when you're traveling in the bus.
So those girls are probably looking like, Miss Philippines eats so much.
I know, my roommate Casey was like, where the hell do you put all that food? And I was like, I don't know. And and my like, I go to the toilet as often because of my salads. and because in such, you have to eat your salads. Always have a salad every time you eat, because when you're in a stress mode, your body kind of like you become like restricted. You feel like and then all the stress kind of constipates you. So I'm telling you this in a
get your greens.
Reality check, girls. Eat your greens, because it will help you with constipation. You don't want to feel constipated daily. You have to release the tension.
So all the girls at Canada Galaxy who are watching, they're all gonna come to the pageant with salads now.
They have to have their greens, they have to have their protein, they have to have their carbs, but they have to work hard before they achieve that. I was just so lucky that I have a trainer who really supported me and became my good friend, and he gave me a really good discount too. So
Oh my gosh, Bea, honestly, these girls are going to be coming into Canada Galaxy. They're going to be late, or they're just going to show up right on time to make sure people are watching them with their glasses on. They're going to come with salads. They're going to come with notebooks.
But
oh my goodness.
Yeah, you do that, but that doesn't give you the right to be a bitch. Never be a bitch to anybody. Okay? Be friendly as you can. Kill them with kindness, but never be a bitch. Be a bitch in here, but never here. Just in your head.
Well,
just in your head.
There you go. So those are the lessons from Bea Santiago. Elizabeth is still in the group, in the chats, and she's saying, I will pass salads around backstage.
Yeah.
But then you better pass the toilet paper around too, then.
Yeah, and I'm just so lucky because I have a routine. And my roommate she's always early, I guess, because she's she's New Zealand. I guess they're always early, or like they're always on time. But I'm Asian, so but I'm never late. I'm only one.
She's always on time.
I'm on time or 1 minute late, because after breakfast I check everybody out. And then I go up. I just bring my necklace.
You change?
Like I change. I'm like, oh, she's wearing the same pink. I gotta go up to change. Okay. Or sometimes I don't even change my dress. I don't change my dress at all. I just change my accessories.
That's fair. You change up a little bit.
Because there's a lot of stress in changing clothes. And oh yeah, I forgot. So be organized. At night, prepare your clothes, 2 sets of clothes, because you'll never know. You don't want to be like the next day, I'm like, I don't think I like this. You know what I mean? Because girls do that.
Yeah.
I
always
have 2 options. So option 1, option 2, and 2 sets of, accessories. And the night before, you gotta ask, what's the activity for tomorrow, miss? What are we doing tomorrow? Where are we going? Okay, this. Cold. You gotta think right ahead. I have to bring my jacket.
Don't forget don't wear light tights to the mountains.
If you're gonna wear those black tights that's like thin, make sure you have another set of tights that's your color underneath. That's
oh my gosh, or bring an extra pair just in case you get a tear.
Yeah
Oh my goodness.
And plus a tear, you can just swift it in the back. It doesn't matter. Just make sure in the pictures you don't show your back.
There you go.
And
there you go.
And that time I'm never really I'm never really a fan of short skirts or like short dresses. It was Binibini. Mrs. Arnetta loves short dresses, but I love long dresses, and and I pair it with like my skin tight what I call if I wear skirts or short dresses, I would always make sure I wear like a skin tone stockings,
Tights? Yeah.
because it's like I feel really cold at the time. You don't want chicken legs. I mean chicken bumps.
All the pricklies going down your legs.
You don't want chicken bumps, And
No.
yeah, I think that's the main thing. Let's just be organized. Always have it in your head ready, and always have a little notebook with you. Write your possible questions. Write your, imagine if you have time. Don't gossip. Don't look at other girls. The grass is always greener on the other side. Never ever focus on other girls. Focus on yourself, how to make yourself better. So write down everything you think. And I used to have a little notebook with me from Moleskine, and I would always write what I feel that day. My notebook was just everything and beyond. It was my notes for my study, my notes for that day's speaker, and whatever I think I got from that speaker. And I would write it down, and everything I think of, I am gonna be a winner. I am that queen. I am what they need. I write it down, because for me, it kind of is like an assurance that whatever is in my head, when I'm writing it down, I'm making it a reality. I'm showing, I'm kind of releasing it to the world, and the universe will just have to accept that I am a queen.
You are the winner. Yeah.
And then eventually, the more you think of it, the more you write it down, the more you see it in reality, the more it becomes a reality. And even my screensaver before was my Photoshop photo of my face.
I remember that.
It was a Photoshop photo of my face to like the winner from previous year, because I was just I don't know, I was just trying to gain that energy. I didn't even believe in like The Secret or like making reality or something. I just liked seeing it.
You're like, this is pretty.
I'm gonna be a winner, ha ha ha.
And here you are.
I know, and then the next time I don't know if where's my phone? And then until now, 7 years later, I'm still repping my photo of me with my crown.
I love that picture of
I
you.
replaced my old Photoshop photo with this photo. This is my first photo shoot right after I won, and that's my crown. And
do you miss that crown?
Yes, but you know what? I'm not the crown anymore. You know what I mean? I have to release it. And it was a surreal moment too. Like, I thought, who am I? What I'm gonna be? Am I not relevant anymore? But like, I am not the crown, because then it's another chapter of your life that God or the universe has given you an opportunity. Who are you after the crown?
And here you are now.
I know. And then now I ask God, like, oh, I got, I'm done with the pageantry. Like, who am I now? And then now I'm more of like, a health
kidney
advocate.
failure advocate. Yeah. But you inspire so many people. I know you have inspired me throughout my pageant journey and just my adult life so far. I've looked up to you since the day I met you, and I know that you do the same for everyone else that meets you.
Thank you. If you have any more questions, I know you have a pageant coming up, and for the girls, just ask me, or like we can make like a little chat room if you guys are happy to invite me. I'm more
for sure.
to open, my advice and whatever I can share, because honestly, it's my way of reliving my pageant moment. Because I felt like when I won Regine, I felt like, what's next? Like, I still have all this energy. I still have this excitement, but I don't know where to put it, because I'm already done.
You're like, what do I do now?
Over age,
Well, I'm over age too, and I'm now representing the Ms. division. So, I mean, maybe you'll be something one day.
Let's see, like a Mrs. or something. Like, oh my God.
Oh, a Mrs.? Okay, Mark, where are you? Micro wedding coming.
No, honestly, that's the next pageant for for us. Like, I mean, if you're done with the age for like after you reach 30, there's no pageant for you anymore until you become Miss Grandma or Miss
Oh my gosh,
Mrs.
stop. Well, with
Mrs. That's it.
Galaxy has a Ms. I know there's a Ms. Universe, a Ms. I'm sure there's a Ms. International somewhere out there, but I think you're right. I think we're gonna wait for Mark, and then we're gonna do the micro wedding, and then get you onto the Mrs.
Oh my
Pageant
God.
stage one day.
Let's see. Like, I want to have kids in 5 years.
Yeah,
So, you know, that there's a lot of time.
let's get Bea healthy first.
Yeah, I know. Priority first is, you know,
Yeah,
my health first, and then my mental health, and
yeah.
then my dream, my next chapter, like my career, and then let's see.
Get another dog.
Dogs and
Yes,
maybe
get more dogs. Sorry. So, Bea, as we wrap things up, we've been going on for almost 2 hours now.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice.
It's crazy because, like, I feel like this is just us catching up and we just have an audience watching us.
I know. It's just us, like, normal. Haha.
Exactly. But, Bea, where could people find you if they want to reach out to you for some pageant advice or just to follow your journey?
Yeah, so they just go on YouTube. I have a YouTube now, but I barely go in it. It's I think my YouTube name is Bay Rose.
I'll find you and I'll add you in the
Bay Rose, and
description.
my Instagram is Santiago, and my
Mhm.
Facebook is Santiago, Bay Rose Santiago, I
Per-
think. Yeah, so they can just
Perfect.
reach out to me, you know, ask me questions, whatever they want. I'll happy to answer.
Perfect. So we're gonna wrap things up, but Bea, thank you again so much for
Mhm.
being my first guest ever. It's so
Thank
crazy.
you. I'm so sorry. I'm
And I
jabbering. It's been 2 hours. My God.
it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, I'm not complaining and the people watching aren't complaining yet, so I think we're good. But no, seriously, thank you so much. I appreciate everything. Not just with the pageant sit down, but also with my pageant journey. And people are saying, or Kathy is in the chat saying, never overage in pageantry. So she's actually a Ms. Title holder for Canada Top Choice. So she knows that there's no such thing as overage. But again, thank you again, Bea. I'm wishing you the best in your health, and I do hope and pray that your brother is a match for you and you can get your transplant and move on to the next chapter in your life because I know you're waiting for it.
Thank you. Thank you, Regine. And thank you for having me as your first guest. That's amazing. And thank you, girls, for watching, and boys for watching. Thank you, guys. And happy to help.
Awesome. So, with that being said, everyone who's tuned in, thank you for joining us for the launch of Pageant Sit Down. I haven't officially announced it yet, but I will now. So, because there's been so much inquiry, I've decided to do interviews Mondays and Wednesday evenings at 7:30. So, look out for the next episode, which will be this upcoming Monday, February 1st. We're going to have the reigning Ms. Galaxy 2020-21, Crystal Gale. So I look forward to seeing you all there. And again, Bea, thank you so much. And I can't wait to see what your journey has in store.
Thank you for having me, and can't wait to see more of your interviews.
Thank you. In the meantime, bye everyone and have a
Bye.
great evening or good morning if you're in the Philippines. And stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Bye.